Good morning, everyone. For Telesur, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela. We're going to begin this morning with news out of Palestine, where it appears the Palestinian Authority will officially join the International Criminal Court on April 1st. That's according to UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Now, late last night, Ban issued a statement confirming that the PA's recent application to join the court had been approved. Palestinians are widely expected to call on the court to investigate long-standing allegations that Israeli forces engaged in war crimes during their offensive against the Gaza Strip last year. Moving on, as the first piece of major business for 2015, Mexico's President Enrique Peña Nieto and his cabinet made a trip to Washington to hold talks with U.S. President Barack Obama. Now, the leaders talked about trade, immigration, and security. However, the visit was shrouded by the Ayotzinapa case and allegations of human rights abuses in Mexico. To explain, here's our correspondent in Mexico, Clayton Kahn.
While the agenda for Obama and Peña Nieto at the White House was heavy on trade and immigration, neither one could avoid the issue of insecurity and crime that plagues Mexico.
Our commitment is to be a friend and supporter of Mexico in its efforts to eliminate and discourage violence of drug cartels.
Although President Obama asked that Mexican authorities take the lead on the country's security, here in Mexico, members of the leading opposition party expressed distrust owing to the United States' historic participation in the so-called drug war.
To offer support to our country on the matter of security is nothing more than continuing to invade in a meddling kind of way through plans such as the Merida Initiative.
Implemented in 2007, the Merida Initiative is a security cooperation agreement between both countries to combat organized crime. However, rights organizations say the effects of this continued strategy have been devastating for Mexico.
There's a grave crisis in human rights marked by 23,000 disappearances. And what Ayotzinapa and these numbers unmask is a crisis in violence that we live every day, and an inadequate security strategy.
Human rights experts say that without including a comprehensive human rights strategy into security, violence will only continue to rise, as well as the country's widespread social discontent. Clayton Kahn, Telesur, Mexico City.
Thanks to Clayton. We go to Colombia now, where President Juan Manuel Santos declared that his government will only consider a bilateral ceasefire, quote, when the time is right, with the country's rebels. However, it appears likely that the ELN could announce their participation in the unilateral ceasefire sometime today. The announcement will coincide with the 15th anniversary of the Simacota battle, which led to the founding of the ELN organization. Moving on, this year marks 100 years since the Armenian genocide, which saw over 1 million people killed. Also known as the Armenian Holocaust, the minority group was targeted in territory that is now part of modern-day Turkey. Syria and the surrounding areas have often served as a refuge for Armenians who fled from wars and persecutions. With more on this historic anniversary, Nashwan Abdullah.
In Syria, there are an estimated 100,000 citizens of Armenian descent. This year, they are remembering the anniversary that cost so many lives. Marking the century of the Armenian genocide, a commemorative symbol was unveiled to remember the Armenian sacrifices. A memorial prayer was held in the Armenian cathedral to celebrate Christmas.
And our message in this centennial is to demand our rights, to demand our lost lives, but also to demand from the world community, but also from everyone, to recognize the Armenian genocide, to condemn that, so that it should not be done again.
While many Armenians are returning home due to the crisis engulfing Syria, others are staying and this year remembering the Armenian genocide that cost so many lives. And these people insist that they will stand with their second homeland in Syria despite the crisis. Nashwan Abdullah, Telesur, Damascus, Syria.
And moving on, and a token of justice in Nigeria, where Royal Dutch Shell has agreed to a multi-million-dollar payout to compensate 15,000 Nigerian fishers after two serious oil spills in 2008. Now, it comes after a 3-year legal battle. It is the first case in the region where the money will go directly to individual community members, and it marks the largest out-of-court oil settlement in the area. And to end today, we cross to the National Bicentennial House in Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's where the country's political, social, and cultural transformations over the last 200 years are represented. With more, here's Leonel Poblete-Carudi.
Inaugurated as part of Argentina's bicentennial year in 2010, the National Bicentennial House is operated under the scope of the nation's Ministry of Culture. The National Bicentennial House of Argentina offers exhibitions, debates, seminars, film, music, dance and theatre around themes related to the history of Argentina in order to rethink and reflect her in order to build a more just country. The house is an increasingly popular spot, attracting visitors of all ages.
There is amazing movement going on here. Just the other day we came to see a fantastic play. Besides the idea how this piece was put together, it is amazingly creative. I can't stop admiring so many young people that do all these wonderful things.
Currently on display is an exhibition which addresses love from different angles, such as philosophy, history, psychoanalysis, the arts, amongst others, focusing on love as the basis for the construction of values in society. It's open to the public until late April. From Buenos Aires, Leo Poblete-Carudi, Telesur.
Thanks to Leo. More on those stories and others at our website, telesurtv.net/English. For Telesur English, I'm Cody Weddle. Hope you have a great Wednesday.